news and analysis, as of course the top story.
If you want to really see something
Trump
that said, take a look at what happened.
Assassinated, shot in the ear. And in my opinion, this marks the official start of the bull run. Okay? This marks the real deal start of the bull run. All right, this is a big deal. This was ritualized. The shooter was killed, as well as there was somebody in the stands that was killed as well. And we're going to talk about this. We went pretty thoroughly on the charts and the TA. We're going to get into that on about how... Okay, we got to move this a little bit. These narratives will just show up out of nowhere. These narratives will just show up out of nowhere. My spring theory, we're going to talk about that again, has been confirmed. Okay? So he was killed. There was somebody else in the stands that was killed. Obviously, thoughts and prayers for their family. And that being said, this was 100% a ritual. 100% a ritual. Okay? Now, this is the crazy thing too. The Trump shooter is in a BlackRock commercial.
My name is Brian DeLallo. I teach AP and Honors Economics in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
There he was.
Financial well-being to me is knowing that I can be free to do the things that I love to do.
So when I say that this is 100%,
I hope when I retire someday, they say, that guy made this place a special place to come to.
There he is. And is 100% starting the bull market. This is a fact. All right? When we went over the charts and we went over the TA, and when we said, what did we say? We just had this video right here. We're going to watch this video right here. This is a bear trap in Cleveland. As last week I called this out at 53K that this was one of the biggest bear traps in recent memory. We have not had a single candle lower since I made that video. We have all kinds of signs pointing that this is a bear trap, including this. I gave all of my reasons. We flash red on the RSI. We've only done that about 9. Okay? And I said that narratives, I didn't predict that this was going to happen, right? I didn't say what the narrative was going to be. But when we look at the charts, when we look at the TA, the narratives will have a way of showing up out of nowhere as they're supposed to be. Okay? This was my theory. We went over this pretty heavily. This is the spring in Wyckoff. And I said, it is always the absolute scariest at the bottom. It is always the absolute scariest at the bottom. Okay? This is your selling climax. This is your secondary test in phase B. This is your spring. When we look at textbook, literal textbook Wyckoff accumulation, that's exactly how it has. You have your selling climax, your secondary test in phase B goes a little bit lower, and then you have your spring. Okay? Now, here's what this assassination guarantees, or assassination attempt guarantees. Guarantee number one is Donald J. Trump just won the 2024 election. This is what happened the last time that there was a failed assassination attempt. So that is guarantee number one. He just locked up the 2024 election. Guarantee number two is the bull run has officially started. Bona fide. Guaranteed. Now that doesn't mean that tomorrow we're going off into a new all-time high. That's not what that means. But what it means is we have officially shifted into the bull run energy. Okay? Here, obviously, the last time that happened was with the 1980 United States presidential election. It says screen is black. Yeah, I should have fixed it, though. Yeah, we should be good now. I'll have to edit it out. Thanks for the Tiny Diny and the Let 'em Cook, you savages.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Says Dan Bro, your beard's really coming in. Thanks, fam. Thanks, fam. And this is What do we get? Do we get a little, we got the U.S. elections things. Whatever. It's all good. Okay. Also, this is how you know the bull run is starting. Mainly because the charts tell us that, right? Show me the charts, I will tell you the news. The absolute scariest at the bottom. And we're going to go heavy into the charts on Bitcoin. But I said everything all at once, everything everywhere all at once, the narratives will just magically show up. You literally cannot script this stuff any better. But Trump says he will still attend and speak at the Bitcoin conference later this month. Okay? And obviously they're saying 70% chance. I'm telling you 100% chance. 100% chance. Okay, so pretty crazy stuff going on. Also, while all this is going on, CZ quietly has gotten out of prison. CZ has quietly gotten out of prison, and the markets are absolutely loving everything that they're seeing. Okay? So let's do a quick when XRP lawsuit going away. When Bitcoin gets above $80,000, everything, all of the narratives are going to show up all at the same time. Okay? The XRP lawsuit will be solved magically. The Solana ETFs are going to be getting approved. The Ethereum ETFs are going to be doing awesome, magical, all of that. Everything all together, all at once, you will see. It is always scariest at the bottom. It will never, ever feel good to buy at the bottom. We have quietly overlooked the passing of Richard Simmons. Yep, Reagan, that's who I was talking about, yes. Screen's black. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. A lot of crack smoking here. From who? So we won't go any lower? No. And I put this out at 53,000. I put a video out explaining why. Quickly, let's recap all of that. Somebody, Legendary, thanks for becoming a member, fam. I appreciate you. So let's recap the charts of what we were talking about over a week ago when Bitcoin was literally at $53,000. Okay? Literally at the $53,000 mark is when I made this video. Okay? And I had this theory that this was accumulation. Accumulation is what marks the bottom. Okay? It's what exactly how you measure what the bottom is. Okay? So you have, and the tricky part of it about accumulation is textbook. It has you going on a downtrend. So the trend people will be like, we're on a downtrend, so we're going to keep going down, right? So that's what the trend people will say. It's like, we're on a downtrend, we're just going to keep going down. But when you look at the literal textbook of accumulation, that's exactly what it shows you. Your selling climax, your secondary test in phase B goes lower than your selling climax, and your spring goes even lower than that. Then you get your sign of strength and you go into phase E. Phase E is what we know as a bull market, or in Wyckoff, they call it the mark up. I just got restricted on TikTok. You'll love to see it. Okay. Has the bull run started, Ski? Yes, it has. The bull run has officially started. Bet money then. Bet money. Says, I bet we see 47K. Bet money. Bet money. Because I'm going to tell you exactly why we are not. Okay? We're going to go real deep into this. So, number one, Wyckoff accumulation. Wyckoff is the most truth out of any way of measuring the market, in my personal opinion. So we are getting clear Wyckoff accumulation. Your selling climax, your secondary test in phase B, and your spring. You're having a downtrend. The TA people are like, oh, this shows it's going to keep going lower. But that's literally how textbook Wyckoff, aka the bottom, is. It's literally textbook. This measures how a bottom comes in. Okay? Now, that's point number one. Point number two. We flashed red on the daily RSI. We have not done this since the war in Israel kicked off. And every single time we've done this about 9 times over the last, we've done this about 9 times over the last 5 years or so. And I have them all marked right here. We've done this about 9 times. Every single time we did this, it was a local bottom on the day. 8 out of 9 times it was a local bottom on the day. And there was one outlier, which was the war in Israel. And we'll zoom in and we'll show you that. This was the only outlier. The RSI flashed red. It started moving up. And we went 1% lower over the course of 2 weeks. We went 1% lower over the course of 2 weeks. 21 days, 3 weeks. Over the course of 3 weeks, we went 1% lower before then reversing. So every single time it marks the start of a local bottom, and 8 out of 9 times it was literally on the day. So that's point number 2 as to why I believe the bottom was in. Point number 3 was the fear and greed got all the way to 25. Where is my fear and greed index? I don't know where it went. The fear and greed got all the way. Here it is. My screen's broken. I can't see some stuff. The fear and greed got all the way to 25. I haven't even refreshed it since before the shooting happened. So I'm going to refresh this, and this is going to be 33. 25, though, we have not been at 25 since FTX went to 0. AKA also literally the best time you could have bought Bitcoin. All right, so I'm going to refresh this. I'm going to refresh this right now. We're going to refresh it. Okay, it still has it. That's not correct. I know it's 31, so I don't know why it's not refreshing, but it's 31 right now. And when we look at the, let me try to get a different one because this one's being wonky. But that's cool that I can see that. There you go, 33. So now, just 1 day later, we're at 33. Yesterday, we were in extreme fear. Now we're only in fear. Now, let's look at this. Let me show you. We were not that low since the FTX collapse, aka the best time you could have possibly bought Bitcoin. You could have possibly bought Bitcoin. All right? Now, a lot of times when I'm measuring the markets, a lot of times, I'm going to be honest with you guys. A lot of times when I'm looking at Bitcoin, most times I'm like, we'll see what it wants to do here. We'll see what it wants to do. You'll hear me utter these phrases many, many times. We'll see what Bitcoin wants to do here. There are moments when I get extreme high conviction. I had extreme high conviction at the Luna collapse. I had extreme high conviction at the FTX collapse. When the Silicon Valley Bank went to 0, I had extreme high conviction. And when the war in Israel kicked off, I had extreme high conviction. I have not had extreme high conviction since the war in Israel kicked off. Most of the times I'm like, we'll see what it wants to do. We'll see what it wants to do. I do not feel that way anymore. Not even a little bit. Bitcoin 61K. Yeah, right now we're at 60,900. I'm telling you, this ritual is literally kicking off the bull run. Now, that doesn't mean tomorrow we're going to Lambos and rocket ships. That's not what it means, but it means that we're entering into the next phase. This energy is now into the next phase. Bitcoin conference is in 2 weeks. Trump is going to be there. CZ just got out. The Solana ETF is ready to be approved. Everything all together, all at once. The narratives will magically show up as needed. Everything together, all at once. Stage to enforce. New account. No, this isn't a new account. This is a backup account. So yeah, Bitcoin sale is over. Just hit 61K. Yeah, 100%. 100%. By the way, if you guys were DCAing through all that boredom, through all that fear, because I know you guys felt it. I know you felt the squeamishness. I know you felt the, oh, are you sure? I know you felt it, right? If you made it through all that and you're still here, guess what? You made it, son. I'm proud of you. Rational target factoring 75%. The average decline from the bull run. My Bitcoin bull run target is 138 is my medium case scenario, and my bull case scenario is 207. Those are my scenarios. If Trump still shows at Bitcoin conference, it's reported that he will. So we already went over that a little bit. It is reported that, where is it? Donald Trump will still attend and speak at the Bitcoin conference later this month following yesterday's assassination attempt, according to, this is coming from the Watcher Guru. So according from the Watcher Guru, which typically is pretty accurate as far as with news, he will still be there. He will still be there. How much do you have in Bitcoin? I have a lot of Bitcoin. I'm interested. I'm invested heavily. Bitminers, Iran, Wolf, AIOZ price prediction. Cali XT, thanks for the lightning. Irish Dano, thanks for the sneaky gnome, you savages. I appreciate you guys.
Cream will rise to the top.
We pumping right now. Can't watch too much at the gym and got work, but we're looking good. Yeah, we're looking really, really, really good. The markets are loving this. This to me was a ritual that has signified firmly that we are entering into the next phase of the market. That we are entering into the next phase of the market. That is exactly, we are in a historical economy. Bro, listen, I am sick of hearing about the economy stuff. Like, here's the deal. All right, here's the deal about the economy. You want to talk about the economy? Let's talk about the economy. In 2022, I know that they changed the definition of what a recession was, actually, right? So before 2021, the economic definition of what a recession is 2 consecutive GDP quarters at a loss. That is what we had. And then they changed the definition. It's like, well, economists have many definitions on what a recession is. So it was no longer a recession. How to avoid a recession? Just change the definition. You're good to go. That's all you need to do. So check it out. We're not feeling that anymore. We're not experiencing that anymore. You're not going to get a recession and then 2 years later get one again. That's not how things work. Secondly, we have hundreds of years of data for this. We have hundreds of years of data. People think that price equals economy. That is not true. Price is correlated sometimes, but there have been many recessions. They happen about every 7 years. About every 7 years, we have a recession, right? And when we look on the Dow Jones, you have 100 years of data that you can pull from. All you need to do is look at a recession and see what the Dow Jones is doing. Spoiler alert, half the time it went up when we were during a recession, half the time it crashed. Correlation does not equal causation. Price equals supply and demand. Nothing more, nothing less. That is it. We will still, I enjoy your content, but I think 47K, bud. You are entitled to your opinion. I could not disagree more. Could not disagree more. But that's okay. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine. I outlined why I think that the supporting data to support my case as to what I believe. I do not bat 1,000, but I have not had this high of a conviction on my targets since the war in Israel kicked off.